Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Cold War Western Alliance Era 2 medium tank, the M60A3. This is the pinnacle of the M60s in the Era 2 bracket. And that's because it's the best of the three. Well, I'm discounting the M60A2 here because it's its own niche. But it's the best of the three between the M6061, the M60A1 and this tank. Because this tank is basically the same as the M60A1 but just marginally better by having like better 0.1 better accuracy, 0.1 or 0.2 second better aim time, 2 kilometers an hour extra on its top speed. So it's just... So this is my problem with the Era system, is that I'm never going to play the M60A1 ever again because I've got this tank now, and this tank is just those tanks but better, right? Even if it is only marginally, it's just better. So yeah. But I do like the M60A3. I just think it is a little bit of a boring tank because it is just a... It's not really got a niche like the M60A2 has a lot of fun. By the way, sorry to Wolfing here because he ends up turning in to back out just a little bit there and we end up blocking him while we're trying to get a shot at the Leopard, which costs him most of his health. Sorry, dude. Did not even really see that coming. But yeah, the M60A3 is just kind of, yeah, it's not really got a niche. It's not really got that higher alpha like a lot of the tanks. It fires about the same as a lot of tanks. It doesn't really have much armor, to be honest. It gets penned really quite easily. The gun accuracy is pretty good. Like I said, the DPM is pretty decent. To be fair, I'm being harsh on the DPM. It's got 2,700 hit points, which is sort of fairly low for the era, for a top era tank, by the way, top era, because a lot of the top era tanks are starting to push like 3k, you know, if you look at stuff like the T72M1 or the AV or stuff like that. But it can be a fun tank. It is pretty decent, and it's a pretty solid tank so far as playing it. My other problem with the M60A3 is the bloody progression system, because I have to play this tank for an extra 30, 40k XP after I've unlocked the M1 Abrams to get the top gun. So the gun that you're seeing here is not the gun that I've been able to play with on the M66 or on the M60A1, where I've had, like, you know, 421 pen on my standard rounds. I've got to play with the stock gun, which is 347 pen, which makes it an absolute nightmare to deal with some of the tanks like the FE4211 that you're going to see a fair bit of in this replay. Makes a bit of a pain to play. Like, you've got the nice Chi with like 250 odd penetration, which means that you can, you know, deal some good damage, but you've got 20 less alpha, you fire slightly slower, and yeah, you don't have the pen to deal with some of the tanks that you're going to face, which just leaves you in the lurch, and you have that for the whole grind of the tank. That's not right. It's really annoying to have to grind for a gun after I've finished the grind, because especially if you don't like the tank, you're never playing the tank at its full proficiency, and once you've finished the grind, you might never play this tank again because you don't like it. So you never played it at its best with the best gun. Doesn't make sense to me, that logic, and it's something that they've got on all the Era 2 tanks, which is just really odd to me. But it is what it is. But that's it. It is a pretty solid tank. It's just, it doesn't thrill me that much to play it. I do like, though, that this Chi. I have loved playing about with this Chi, and as you've seen with that poor T62, it's really great to load with the ammo swapper, because you can just load into that Chi and slap people for 570, especially those that are lightly armoured, like Leopards and that guy. You've seen a few shots of it in this game. So in terms of a crew on the M60A3, fairly similar to the M60A1 or the M60, I do change it up a bit. We play with Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, and Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim, just because I wanted to make the turret traverse a little bit better. I wanted to make it a lot faster to keep up with the tracks, and just generally be able to deal with, you know, pivoting the turret about a lot, because Cold War is very fast, and there's a lot of times where you've got to just get your gun on target and start firing as quickly as you humanly can, and that's why I want the turret traverse to be a little bit better. You could also run off-road driving just to make the terrain resistance better, to make sure you hit 64 kilometers an hour, but it does hit that speed quite well, so it's up to you, really. And in terms of equipment, I do run Rammer, Vert Stabs, and the ammo swapper. Vert Stabs to make sure the gun is as good as humanly possible, Rammer to make my DPM as good as possible, and and ammo swapper, sorry, as you've seen, to be able to switch between AP and He. Because, yeah, I want to use those He rounds where applicable, because they are really, really nice to use. And yeah, I don't carry any heat in this tank because, well, heat's pretty pointless in Era 2 because the amount of tanks that have spaced armor, like that FV4211 you've just seen, you just struggle to pen things. So yeah, so far in this game, we've managed 7.5k damage with 1200 assistance. They've got 2 tanks left, a TD that's in our base near enough, or sorry, near our spawn, and this Enigma. We're just going for the drive wheel of the Enigma so that we can avoid the spaced armor and pen and track him, but we do get to finish him off. We end up now being our 6th kill of the game, which is nice, and up to 8.4k damage. There's only 1 tank left, which is the Ontos, I believe, and it's attacking our heavy tank over there in the building. So we're just going to try and get over there as quickly as humanly possible and start slapping up. Now, obviously, this is the thing with this tank, because it does fire quick, it's pretty accurate. But, like I say, the niche, it's the niche for me. It's the same with all the M60s. They don't have that fun. Like the M60A2, I say all the M60s, I keep forgetting the Starship. The M60A2 obviously has that ATGM launcher. It has that cannon. That is a lot of fun to use. Like, you've got the bigger alpha of the Russian tanks that this tank faced. And obviously, it's not as much of a difference these days because you've got more tanks in the game now that, or should I say in the era, which are different. Because obviously back at the start of Cold War, this tank was just dominated by the AVs, because that AV was mad. But you got stuff like the Leopards now, which have similar alpha, but absolute even better guns, better DPM, that sort of thing, and better camo, as well as great maneuverability, but no armour. But then this tank doesn't really have much armour either. And then, you know, you've got stuff like the VT2, which has the armour on the turret, but has that higher alpha, the, you know, similar pen, and still moves as quick, and it can slap up a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It might do it for you. It's totally down to you. We finished that game with the Ace Tanker, the 1673 base XP, and like I say, the alpha damage. And by the way, when we were facing that Ontos, you could see I ended up firing HE at the building because I kind of got bored of waiting for the Ontos to come out at us, and I thought if I shoot the building, someone else will shoot him and it might force him to come out and end the game, and that's what happened. But we're on to the second replay, and the second replay, we're on Desful, and on Desful, we are going to go to the centre of the map, because the centre of the map is such a strong position. It's also kind of deadly as well, but it's a strong position on this map, especially in Cold War with the True Vision, because, well, you get shots across the whole map from the middle. The whole map. And from there, you can start finding people that are sort of camping in the hills and starting putting fire at them. But naturally, you're also in the middle and quite exposed at times, so you are easy for them to shoot as well. And if they are drawn, have their eyes drawn to the middle, which does happen, they will see you and shoot you. So, you know, you've got to be careful. So as you can see here, as we're coming up to this edge, I was just looking over the buildings to see if I could see anyone coming up onto the hill with True Vision. But we get spotted, and I'm like, okay, well, sure. Okay, well, I'm just going to pull back so I don't get shot. We'll look over there, because you can normally see people crossing. We did see one crossing. Unfortunately, we didn't see the TR5 or 2125 or something like that crossing over there. But we're just looking at the back, because I'm thinking there's usually something over there. So we're just going to keep having a look. But we couldn't quite see anything. So it's like, what saw me over here? It's possibly this Leopard. We slap a big shot into his back. We could have actually loaded HE there and penned his rear, but we didn't go for it. Just waiting for another shot into the Leopard, and thankfully the Leopard 1A5 ends up missing us and we get another shot into him. We laid HE though, because like I say, I can pen the Leopard 1A5 with HE, and going from 460 to 570 is a big jump in alpha when you pen it. And it's a lot nicer now that they've changed some of the RNG in Cold War as well, because it's a lot more consistent with my damage rolls. Because beforehand, when I was firing the HE, I was hitting like for 490, 500. That wasn't a pen on the Ontos, but you know, I was hitting for like 490, 500 for 570 alpha, and then hitting for like 430, 440 with the main APCR. So the RNG change in Cold War is a lot nicer now, because that means that actually if I do change those to higher damage rounds and stuff like that, or I do have higher damage in general, like on the Cobra Cat for example, with like 600 alpha or something like that, when you actually hit people, you hit people for around that number or a little bit more. It's really nice, and that's a change I definitely approve of for it, because it was really frustrating to know, oh yeah, I've got like 600 alpha, and then go around on someone who's got 570 or 560 health and then just hit them for like 500, and so they're going, but why? So it's quite nice to have that alpha change for sure. And as you're seeing here, this middle position, when people attack different flanks, it's so easy to just wreck them from it. Naturally, we are spotted, so anyone that's camping in a position that can see into this middle, like you've just seen a shot whiz off me there, they can pop shots at you quite easily. So you've got to be careful of that. But anyone that sort of progresses and tries to be aggressive, you can punish and, you know, threaten. So as you can see, we were going for the shot on that guy that wasn't spotted, but we end up bouncing off its turret. I can't quite see what it is. It's possibly a Magak, maybe. I didn't know what it was, but I just tried to pop a shot at it in case it was something like a leopard, and we didn't quite get it in. So I decided, you know what? Okay, I'm getting too much attention on that flank over there. What we're going to do is change our angle of attack. We're going to come over here and see if we can spot anything that's crossing the K-line, because we've not really looked over here, and get some shots in. We end up spotting this Enigma that is sat on that position at J5 that you've just seen us shooting at, because when I got detected and I pulled around the corner, I was thinking, what is seeing me there? And there was nothing along that area that I was looking at K56, so naturally the next place for me to check was where the Enigma was, and you could just see his turret poking above, and it's like, hello sir, I can see you. He's determined to try and get a shot at us. He does actually end up penning us. We're trying to track him up on top of this ridgeline, and we did actually track him, but he repaired it. Because if we tracked him there, he would probably get stuck, and our team could have hopefully farmed him away. But now I want to get into a position to get round where he is and get rid of him. So I'm going to start moving out towards the flanking position along the K-line. And as we're going, it's like, oh god, that's a 1A5. What's he doing looking at me? So we RBRT the shot at him, and obviously this tank is pretty accurate, like most guns in Era 2 and Era 3. And we managed to hit him there. We managed to hit him again on the move. He ends up missing us, so we stop because we want to make sure that that gun is out of the game and we get rid of the 1A5. And as we're coming over here, it's like, oh, that's a Conqueror. So there is something over here. So I can't quite flank round the T55 Enigma. So I'm just trying to go around to get some shots into the Conqueror, but that Enigma is coming for us. We do slap a shot into his drive wheel though, which tracks him in place. We get a nice shot to pen him, and I'm like, do I fire quicker than him? I think I do. Only just, which means that we end up tracking him in place again, which means thankfully I know that I'll be able to shoot him without taking a shot in retaliation, and with that puts us up to 6.7k damage with 2 kills. Bit of assistance now, and the poor old Conqueror is unfortunately complete trash. So as well as he fires quickly, he has no mobility, no armor. He just has an absolutely cracking gun, and that means that I can just keep pummeling shots. Even with 347 pen, I can just keep pummeling shots through his turret armor, straight through his gun, straight through his whole armor, to be honest. And there's not much you can do about it because he can't get away from me either. I mean, that guy ends up getting shut down because he tries to back away from me. We're up to 7.6k damage, and I'm like, right, okay, I'm just gonna have a look to see if there's anything camping these hills, see if I can get a shot at it. And it's like, oh, hello there, sir. I can see you moving. Unfortunately, we end up missing that, and I'm just keeping my eye out. I see a shot whiz from the left, and it's like, there is definitely something on that left, but we do get a shot into the Magak. We try and shut him down, but I'm not sure where that shell went, whether we hit him or not. We end up bouncing the shot from the Magak. And like I said, there was a shot that definitely whizzed from that left-hand side along the one line. So it's like, what was it? So I'm trying to find it, but I can't see it. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I want to get along to try and get into a better position. We're just looking for a different shot than Magak, trying to poke around a different side of the rock to see if we could get a shot at him, and hopefully he wasn't looking at us, but we couldn't do it. So it's like, right, okay, now I'm going to definitely go down the K line and try and find whatever it is that's shooting from this one line, because I can see the shots whizzing to the people in the middle, but I can't actually see it, which means it's probably somewhere over here. So as I'm pulling round, again, I'm just checking the corner. It's like, hello, is that a gun? That is a gun. Hello, Mr. Conqueror. Always be aware. Always think of the positions where people can take up sort of what I'd call TD positions, right? Places that are sort of shots that they can take at you. And where that Conqueror is somewhere that I'd naturally think, oh yeah, someone could be sitting up there to get a shot at us. And we actually ended up seeing them. But we actually end up bouncing off him because obviously we do have pen drop off over range, and we are at 684 meters. We get a nice shot into his upper plate, which ends up damaging Zamorak. He ends up seeing us. You can see he's physically looking at us. And I tried to lob. Now, the thing is with the HE rounds is the shell velocity is really not very good. I was trying to lob a HE round into his lower plate, but because he is looking at us, we're just keeping ourselves moving to make sure that we're not just a stationary sitting target for him to hit. So we end up popping another shot into his lower plate. Now, we could chance killing him with AP, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to lob this HE round into his lower plate because he's sitting still, and we end up shutting him down for our third kill, and up to 9.8k damage. But that Conqueror is why we were moving, right? That was the prime example, that guy, because he was sitting still, which was making him an easy target for me to hit, and also making it really obvious that he was still in the same spot. Whereas me, when I was firing at him, I was keeping myself wiggling, I was keeping moving, I changed up the angle of attack a little bit here and there, and it made it very difficult for him to be able to hit me. So now there's only one tank left. It's this Leopard. We're at a good distance, but we're trying to put shots in. I could fire HE at the Leopard, but honestly, the shell velocity is terrible for this kind of range, so I just wanted to stick with the shell velocity. He ends up getting shut down, and we finished the game with a really great total for the M60A3. We finished with the epic victory, 3 kills, 10.7k damage, 1900 assistance, the ace tanker, 1628 base XP. A really nice game for the M60A3, which is it's a pretty solid end-of-era tank, and yeah, it's the one that you want to get to because naturally it's just better than the M60 and this M60A1 and destroys the replayability of those two tanks. But it's a really solid tank. I've enjoyed playing it so far. I just wish it had a niche to it, but it is what it is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.